Hey
Hey,
John,
hey, Eric. How you doing tonight?
uh, we're trying something new.
A little bit of spaghetti audio
Yeah,
input output.
I have you in my headset and through my phone, but the mic on the laptop is doing hopefully the correct recording of my audio.
All right, we will keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah. So the reason why traveling for work and we happen to be in the same place back in Texas. I know we've talked about Texas before. Had our
Yep,
brisket,
that was
we're
pretty
good.
tasty. Pretty tasty. Yes. Yeah. I'm not hungry, but you made my mouth water. Yeah,
I
that
I
was some tasty brisket. Anyway, yes, yes.
mm-hmm.
So, yep, traveling. So, let's see. You just got home end of last week.
Yep, I got home end of last week and hopped on a plane and went traveling. And I actually just called my wife right before we started the podcast, uh, and made sure that because as soon as I'm done with the podcast, I am going to go to sleep. So I should call before I start. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
whirlwind weekend for me.
Yeah, well, so I was actually really excited because my son came up from Corvallis. He
First
and
few weeks in as a
Yep,
freshman at college.
he'd been down there for 2 weeks, I think, and then we had a birthday this weekend, so we he and he and his girlfriend drove up, and then they were coming up by 5, so we kind of met at a restaurant that was kind of out and about, so that we didn't have to I don't know, just to save some time. So that was really nice, and then we wound up going into downtown Portland for most of the day on Saturday, a good chunk of the day on Saturday, and spent the day downtown Portland, which was very lovely.
Yeah.
Kind of nostalgic, and we went to what will be my something fun. I decided because it's very prevalent,
Ah,
and many people, at least outside anyone in the Portland area for sure knows what it is, but people outside Portland might not. So it's a fun thing that I've been going to for now like 30 years. So that was Saturday, and had kind of a family movie night on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning hopped on. So been here for a week. Looking forward to going home tomorrow, and
mm-hmm.
I got a lot of stuff stacked up for the weekend. So
Yeah.
hoping for good weather. I haven't even looked at what the weather's going to be, but I'm hoping for some good weather to
Mm.
knock out some chores, and get ready for winter. Winter is coming.
All right, well, we should get right into it then. I saw you drop something and follow up.
I did, because the UK government
Mm-hmm.
is taking another run at Apple for, okay, fine, if we can't force you to give us all data about any user in the world, we can force you to give us data about UK users. So,
Right.
um, we talked about this in April and then twice in March. So this has been there was a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of topics in this. So episode 384, well, 379 to start with, then 380, and then 384. We'd sort of assumed slash thought that because Apple disabled advanced data protection for UK users,
Right.
um, you know, when this went
Rather
down.
than
So
comply with, yeah.
correct, correct. So the quote is that the Financial Times is reports that the UK is once again demanding Apple create a backdoor into its encrypted backup services. The only change since last time they demanded this is that the order is allegedly limited to only apply to British users. It doesn't make it any better. The link I'll put in here is from the Electronic Frontier Foundation, so EFF.org, privacy advocate group for sure. So let's see, they had issued the uh, request in January, and Apple either had to create a backdoor or block its ADP feature, which they did.
Right.
So the final thing that FT or sorry that this EFF says is that um, you know it remains to be, what about back, like anytime you create a backdoor, As we've said time and time again, any backdoor built for the government puts everyone at greater risk of hacking, identity theft, and fraud. It sets a dangerous precedent to demand similar data from other companies and provides a runway for other authoritarian governments to issue comparable orders.
Mm-hmm.
So, be interesting to see what Apple does now, and just kind of keeping the ear to the door on this one.
Yeah. I was just trying to think what are the other options for Apple there? Just when your company makes more money than most countries around the world, do you just decide, well, I guess we're just no longer going to sell in the UK? I mean, I suppose that's an option for
I,
them.
I
Just
guess
pull their products from. It
all,
would be an interesting move.
all options on the table.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So the article I brought tonight, I thought I'd try something goofy. So I saw a threat intelligence report from OpenAI,
Okay,
and I thought, well, okay, it's security and AI stuff we've been talking about, and it's a PDF file, and it's very long and interesting on its own. But I thought, you know what I should do? I should have an AI create me a summary of this long report to see what it would pull out.
okay.
And then even more entertaining, I thought, well, let's use Google Gemini to create the summary of OpenAI in the form of a podcast host. Like, how would a podcast host present this paper if they were presenting the paper?
Okay. Okay.
So I am going to
Here
read,
you go.
here I go. I'm going to
Okay.
read what Google Gemini decided to extract from this paper, and in the form of if Google Gemini was building this script for a podcast host.
So all we need to
Okay,
do is use all of our podcasts to train the Eric
then I can train my voice,
artificial
and I
voice and then
wouldn't even
pass
need to
this
be
in as a
here.
transcript. And then
That's right.
I would be very lonely and be like, whoa, talking to myself.
Who
Okay.
needs me? All right, so here it is. Uh, OpenAI recently released a report titled, and this my editorializing in the middle will happen, but
Yeah.
this also will prove
Please
why
editorialize.
my voice is not a podcast hosting. Like, I can't be one of the happy,
Bombastic.
excited, yeah, over the top podcast hosts. Anyways,
That's
op-
you.
OpenAI recently released a report titled Disrupting Malicious Uses of AI, an Update, dated October 2025, and it gives us a fascinating and at times unsettling look into how threat actors are leveraging AI for their own ends. So, what are the big takeaways from this report? Well, it seems that malicious actors aren't necessarily reinventing the wheel with AI. Instead, they're integrating AI into their existing workflows to become more efficient and effective. Think of it as giving their existing operations a turbo boost. That's
Okay.
kind of,
That's language that Eric uses all the time.
yeah, exactly. That's kind of goofy. All right. The report identifies several key trends. First, threat actors are using multiple AI models to achieve their goals. They're also getting smarter about hiding their tracks, adapting their techniques to remove the telltale signs of AI generated content. For example, one scam network even asked an AI model to remove the EM dashes from its output, a stylistic quirk that has become associated with AI written text. I
Can
editorializing.
can 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 I say that it's ironic that AI written has an M dash in that sentence?
I know exactly. So, uh, if that's all we need to do to detect, I mean, I'm wondering how many of these, GPT zero and other AI detection bots, things that you can do that teachers are using are just
Count
looking for
EM
EM
dash.
dashes. Yeah, count EM dashes. All right. Continuing. Another disturbing trend is the use of AI by authoritarian regimes for surveillance and control.
That's been happening for a while.
The report details instances where individuals linked to the Chinese government have used ChatGPT to design social media monitoring tools and even a system to track the movements of certain ethnic groups. And I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Uh, Not necessarily that they use AI to do that, but certain governments are intruding on folks' individual tracking individuals through social media and some other things like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, I guess now we're going to get to the happier part. But it's not all doom and gloom. The report also highlights that for every malicious use of AI, there are also positive counter applications. In fact, OpenAI estimates that ChatGPT is used to identify scams up to 3 times more often than it's used to create them. People are actually using AI to protect themselves. I don't think that's as positive a fact as OpenAI or this Gemini extraction seems to think it is. People use ChatGPT to identify. So for every, what's my math here? Every 3 times somebody says, "Hey, is this a scam?" Somebody else says, "Write me a scam."
I wonder how many
That's
times the write me a scam could be used.
yeah. Anyways, all right. So now let's get into some specific examples from the report's case studies. These really bring the threats to life. All right. So now the AI that summarized this is going to bring some of these things to life. All right. First up, we have cybercrime. The report details how Russian speaking criminal groups are using ChatGPT to develop and refine malware like remote access Trojans and credential stealers, which we've talked about a bunch.
Yep.
While the AI models refuse to direct requests to create malicious code, and we've talked about that, where AI models are set, hey, you can't tell me how to make a bomb, you can't do it,
There's
but that
general guardrails, but
general guardrails, but that here's the kicker. These actors are using them to generate smaller, benign looking code snippets, which they then assemble into their malicious tools. Well, of course, write me a function that does X. Benign. Write me a function that does Y. Benign. X plus Y? No longer benign.
correct.
It's not rocket science here, folks. All right, and then two more. So then there are scam operations. The report shines a light on networks that likely originating from Cambodia, Myanmar, and Nigeria that are using AI for everything from translating scam messages to creating fake social media profiles of investment experts.
Hmm.
One particularly elaborate scam involved creating a fake WhatsApp group where AI generated personas would have conversations about successful investments to lure in new victims. Clever. I will just
Yep.
have bots talk back and forth to each other,
Yep.
kind
Yep.
of like us on a podcast, uh, and lure uh, investment
Did you make
victims.
200? Oh, I'm up 200%.
Exactly. And all right. So then finally, we have influence operations. A Russia origin operation dubbed Stop News has been using AI to generate scripts for news style videos posted on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. These videos often feature an AI generated news anchor and push pro Russian narratives. Another operation named 9M line. So there you go. Maybe it's 9M dashes in an article equals AI, and likely originating from China, have has been using AI to generate social media posts on divisive political issues in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Hong Kong.
Ooh.
So, what's the bottom line here? The malicious use of AI is a real and growing threat. Editorializing here. Duh. However, this report shows that AI companies are actively working to disrupt these activities, editorializing, as long as it doesn't affect their bottom line, and that AI itself can be a powerful tool for defense. True. The cat and mouse game between threat actors and defenders is clearly escalating in the age of AI. Not that that's not how the game has always been played. So,
that
anyways,
that is sort of the definition.
yeah. So I Gemini did a pretty good job of summarizing it. I wish there were maybe some additional details in some of these. It really kind of high level stuff. But if you dig into some of the three kind of cybercrime and the scam operations, that section was actually very interesting. Is how they're using AI to generate those. I mean, they can automate the entire thing of
Right.
generating the fake social media profiles, have them start talking amongst themselves and generating hype with no
Hmm.
humans in the loop until a human comes in
And all you got to do is like,
and
I don't know. It's like
bites.
it's a net, right? I don't know. My picture is a dip net for catching a salmon.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
You get a bump in the net.
So, anyways,
Ah.
upbeat, slightly techno outro music fades in, and we move to our next topic.
That's what you need.
All
We
right.
need some upbeat, slightly techie outro.
I tried for the first few years to get some music, and you were never a fan.
I am.
I guess technically
I.
you were like, I don't care. You do what you want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I
All
will.
right. Well,
I will not. What is it? Won't be an impediment, but I won't really help. I guess. What is that?
I'm happy to observe.
I don't know. Okay. So mine. There's a pretty big campaign going on at the moment to blackmail companies that are had their data exposed by their Salesforce data
Mm-hmm.
breached. So in May of this year, ShinyHunters is the name of the group, which it says that they might be part of the scattered lapless hunters. But anyway, there's a group number associated with it, UNC 6040. But so they have started issuing ransom letters, ransom notes to a bunch of companies. So they put up a website. They're threatening to publish data stolen from numerous Fortune 500 companies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all based on it says the voice phishing attack in May of 2025 that was used to compromise Salesforce customer data. So companies impacted are like Toyota, FedEx, Red Hat, Disney, Hulu, UPS. They also claim responsibility for a September breach of a Red Hat GitLab server, which exposed over 28,000
Mm-hmm.
Git code repositories and customer engagement reports. So there was also Discord was server or Discord user data was compromised. So Discord users who interacted with customer support or trust and safety teams were impacted. So they basically have, the website claims a billion plus records
Oof.
from all of these different companies. And that, so, Salesforce is saying, of course, that they will not engage with or pay any extortion demands. And in one particular case, so evidently Sales Loft is a company that is has a AI chatbot that's used by a lot of corporate websites to convert customer interactions into Salesforce leads, but that Sales Loft was compromised, and Salesforce's claim is that the theft of the Sales Loft data did not originate from a vulnerability within the core Salesforce platform, aka it's their fault, not Salesforce's fault.
Right.
Um, I mean, this is all like a big ball of yarn because they also,
Spider-Man pointing at each other.
well, but also it seems to have been a bunch of different different breaches where Salesforce seems to have the brunt, but there's also the Discord, like I said. There's also uh, Oracle zero-day exploitation that they claim in Oracle's e-business suite software that Oracle has confirmed and urged customers to patch. But that also was a source of a bunch of data. So let's see, what did it say? Yeah, before it died, the websites disclosed that hackers were exploiting a critical zero-day vulnerability in Oracle's e-business suite software. News of the Oracle zero-day first surfaced on the Scattered Lapless Hunters blog, which published a pair of scripts that were used to exploit vulnerable e-business suite instances. And then this is interesting: is that it says on Monday evening, Krebs on Security received a malware-laced message from a reader that threatened physical violence unless their unstated demands were met. Missive titled "Shiny Hunters" contained the hashtag blah blah blah, and urged me to visit a page on LimeWire.com to view their demands. I did not
Hmm.
visit this link, or Krebs on Security did not visit this link, but forwarded it to Mandiant, which confirmed that similar menacing missives, that's a nice alliteration, were sent to
Mm.
employees at Mandiant and other security firms around the same time. So if you had followed the link, it would have fetched a malicious Trojan disguised as a Windows screensaver file. They're still screensaver files, huh?
Guess so.
Simply viewing the booby trap screensaver on a Windows PC was enough to cause the bundled Trojan to launch in the background. So, um, anyway, so there, let's see, there was a bit about the law enforcement. So, at the end, so let's see, towards the end, it says that with so many big data breaches and ransom attacks now coming from cybercrime groups operating on the I'm not sure what they meant by the com. Law enforcement agencies on both sides of the pond are under increasing pressure to apprehend the criminal hackers involved. In late September, prosecutors in the UK charged two alleged Scattered Spider members, aged 18 and 19, with
Mm.
extorting at least 115 million in ransom payments from companies victimized by data theft. And then U.S. prosecutors heaped their own charges on the 19-year-old in that duo, who is alleged to have been involved in data ransom attacks against Marks and Spencer and Harrods, the British food retailer Co-op Group, and the 2023 intrusions at MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment. So,
Good times.
it did say, let's see, what else did it say? It said in August, convicted Scattered Spider member and 20-year-old Florida man, the name, was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison in order to pay roughly 13 million restitution to victims. So, anyway, big week for data extortion. So the want to say the time frame. I'm trying to look. I didn't pull it out, but I think that the ransom demand ends on like the 10th of October. I thought. I don't. I don't see it. Oh yeah, here. No, it's here. It is. The scattered lapsus hunters claim they will publish data stolen from Salesforce and its customers if ransom demands aren't paid by October 10th. The group also claims it will soon begin extorting hundreds more organizations that lost data in August after after a cybercrime group stole vast amounts of authentication tokens from SalesLoft, blah blah blah.
Right.
So October 10th. So we're recording this on October 8th, so Friday. Be interesting to
Okay.
see if more info comes out on Friday or this weekend.
Hmm.
But
I was wondering if these
pretty
were.
big
This
fallout.
reminded me of those. Yeah, so it was those kids who just got. I think we talked about them before, probably more than once. The Lapsus crew.
Yes, yes.
Alrighty.
That's why they're now scattered lapsus, right?
Scattered
Scattered
spider.
lapsus hunters.
Hmm. Got it.
Um, anyway, yep. There
Okay.
you go. That's my topic for the week.
Nice.
How about something fun?
Okay, so my fun here is science
I like
space.
science. I like
I didn't
space.
know there was such a thing as pristine stars.
What?
Not all stars are created equally, apparently.
Well,
So,
that's obvious, but
astronomers believe that the first stars to form after the Big Bang were mostly made of hydrogen and helium with only trace amounts of lithium, and the
okay.
heavier elements were formed later by nuclear fusion inside the stars.
Oh,
So the
okay.
star supernovas, heavier elements spread throughout space, form more stars, and then each of these successive generations of stars had more heavy
Okay.
elements, and these elements then successively became heavier. So,
Okay.
I'm reading this from the article. Stars are considered pristine when the data shows a lack of heavy elements, meaning they are likely very rare older stars from earlier generations. And a
Okay.
group of
I buy that.
astronomers believe they have found the most pristine star on record by an order of magnitude. And this order of magnitude is 7.8 times 10 to the negative seventh. So what's that? Seven zeros, and which is twice as heavy than, or twice more pristine than the previous record holder for a most pristine star, meaning it has the
Wow.
smallest amount of these additional
Heavy elements.
heavy elements was a
Oh yeah.
number of like 1.4 times 10 to the negative 6. So it's like a whole extra decimal point in there.
Okay.
And they trace they figure I don't know how this works, but the researchers used kinematic analysis. That's something I'm going to have to Google and find out what that is. Use
Okay.
kinematic analysis to trace the star's origin to the Large Magellanic Cloud using Gaia data and orbital modeling, and the analysis
Interesting.
indicates that it was originally part of the Large Magellanic Cloud and later migrated, so stars migrate, into the Milky Way. There you
Interesting.
go. That's my something
So
fun.
it was a super early star and
I
happens
learned
to
what
have
a
been
pristine star
captured.
is. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that is super cool. That is
So there
super
you
cool.
go.
I didn't, I mean, we've talked about heavy elements coming
Mm-hmm.
from supernovas. I remember that being a fun topic at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Migrating stars, and now you know what a pristine star is
Interesting. So it kind of got captured by the Milky Way as it passed through.
as it rolled by.
Okay, that's fascinating. I want to read the whole article, but I guess I'll read it after we're
It's
done
good
here.
stuff.
Okay. Okay, very cool. That is I like learning new things. Okay, my something fun is Powell's. So
Love
downtown
it.
Portland. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
know it was obvious to you, but Powell's City of Books. So
Mm-hmm.
in downtown Portland is, I think, I seem to remember it used to claim at least that it was the largest used bookstore in the world. Um,
I think it still claims that.
yeah, I mean, I guess whether it is or not, who knows? But the it's basically a full city block of a
Yeah.
warren of rooms, and
Levels.
I don't quite, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah,
You
there are
can get
different
lost there,
levels.
literally.
You can, because like there none of the levels line up, or few of the
No.
levels line up, because it's
No.
like they basically like took however many buildings were in the block,
Just kind of knock
and
the walls out between
knocked
them.
down most of the walls, and then put stairwells um,
Yeah.
between the different floors. So uh, everything's kind of at half. Anyway, so there's the gold room and the purple room and the red room and the pearl room and the anyway. There's
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of different rooms, and unfortunately for me, they seem to have moved stuff around since the last time I was there. So I totally went to where I expected in this case, the music books to be, and they were not there at all.
Mm.
Ironically, I found bee books there, so I actually wound up buying something anyway. But I was like, gardening. Why is gardening here? And then beekeeping. Oh, well, let me see what do they have. Um, but so I did buy a book on beekeeping, mason bees actually.
Uh,
But and for some reason they put the art stuff all the way up at the top floor. Back, it's up by the rare book room, which they have a rare
oh,
book room, and
which
the
is
science
really
fiction is
cool.
not where it used to be, and who
Yeah.
knows? Like I was like, it hasn't been that long since I've been here, but clearly it's been, I don't know, I guess it's probably been a year.
Books
Anyway,
migrate too, not only stars.
exactly. But yeah, so the whole family went to downtown Portland, you know, and we spent a good number of hours inside Powell's. But so Powell's is Powell's City of Books. Powells.com is a bookstore in downtown Portland that is just fantastic.
We used to go
And
down there with the kids all the time because they had a great little kids area with kid chairs and kid reading area, and you could read. eh, They would have people reading kids' books. It was
uh,
fantastic. But yeah,
uh,
we haven't been there for a while,
yeah,
so now I need to go back.
yeah. It's as good or better than it ever was. Seeming to me. And you know what was really awesome? I thought at least it was packed. I
With
mean,
people. Yeah,
yeah, it was just packed with people. So it kind of made me happy.
people still like books.
People still like books, and the irony is, reading for fun. I totally read on the iPad these days. I don't remember the last time I
Yeah,
bought a fiction book. Okay, that's not quite true. I've bought some fiction books, like the Sanderson
right. But
books that he
for
published, but they're for aesthetics.
yeah,
I never, I didn't actually. Did I read it? No, because it came with the Kindle version. I read the Kindle version,
yeah,
so it's just too convenient. I'm sorry, it is just
yeah,
too convenient.
yeah.
Anyway, there you go. That's my something fun.
Very
Go to
cool.
Pals.
Yeah.
Go to Pals.
Good stuff.
All right, my friend.
All right, John.
Have a good night. Have a safe trip home, and I will talk to you next week.
Yeah, you too. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.